This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
We start tonight in a weather alert. Our Weather First team is tracking a storm that is bringing winter weather to our area. And while it's starting out as rain or a rain-snow mix for most, in some spots, it's snowing. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. Some parts of our area are under a winter weather advisory until tomorrow night. That includes Lincoln County, where our 5 on your side storm tracker is heading right now. Most areas will see the switch to snow tomorrow, but others are seeing it tonight. This is what it looks like right now on Highway 61 between Lake St. Louis and Troy. You can see the roads are wet. You can see a little bit of the white stuff on the right side of the road from the weekend, but most of it has dissolved away. And it is still very, very dangerous out there, so you do have to be careful on the roads. Well, to be on top of this winter weather, it's going to be a windy couple of days, so let's check in with Weather First meteorologist Jim Castillo for our forecast. Jim?
Yeah, hi. So some of our western counties definitely have some snow-packed roadways already, and I'll show you Cuba, Missouri coming up. But wanted to point out St. Louis. We were at 40 last hour. We jumped up to 41, and we've had reports of some sleet mixing in with the rain. Now in Cuba, Missouri, that is brand new snow on the ground. So we've had issues in Crawford County, Gasconade County, even up in Lincoln County, a little bit on the grassy surfaces and some of the side roads for sure. So Weather First Doppler radar is showing that snow in our western counties, and temperatures are just above that freezing mark. But around St. Louis eastward, it's been closer to 40 and mainly rain, but we have seen a little bit of a mix. We'll see some of that snow move in our direction through the evening hours, so we'll watch that even around the metro. But current road conditions, covered roads where you see pink, that's portions of Gasconade County, Crawford County, and then where you see a little bit of blue, that's Lincoln County, partially covered, and also Interstate 44 from Crawford County and to Phelps County. So something we'll be watching. Rain, snow, even sleet in spots this evening, and more snow chances after it changes over to rain tonight, even in places that are getting snow now. We'll have another chance tomorrow afternoon. I'll time that out coming up in just a bit.
We'll check in with you, Jim, in a few minutes. And MoDOT says it is keeping a close eye on the forecast. Snowplow operators will work 12-hour shifts until all major roads are clear after the storm.
IDOT does tell us it has enough crews to handle the snow and is preparing for more snow on Friday night into Saturday. And a reminder, you can always watch our local news and weather anytime on our 5+ streaming app. Just download the free app on your Roku, Fire, or Apple TV and just search KSDK in your app store.
Tonight, a call for a federal investigation into a St. Louis nursing home. It comes after Northview Village abruptly closed last month, displacing residents and workers. Now,
Congresswoman Cori Bush is leading a push to take action. And our Justina Cordell joins us in studio with more. Justina?
Yeah, Mike and Kelly. So just this morning, Congresswoman Cori Bush sent a letter to the Secretary of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. She urged the department to launch a formal investigation into Northview Village and the state of Missouri. Now, Bush joined the workers in a news conference earlier today outside of the owner's offices in Brentwood.
What is owed is respect. What is owed is our money.
Worried about their wages.
This is the show me state. Show me our money.
Northview Village workers rally in front of Healthcare Accounting Services, which is one of the owners. This is after the largest nursing home facility in St. Louis suddenly shut its doors December 15th, leaving employees without a job and forcing residents to move.
They have failed to pay health care premiums on the workers. They have failed to pay paid time off.
Monday, chants outside and inside called for accountability.
We were supposed to get our last paycheck on December the 29th.
Standing in solidarity with them is Congresswoman Cori Bush.
We can't let another abrupt closure like Northview Village happen again.
Bush is calling on the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Secretary to take action.
I am requesting that the agency look into their finances, their provisions of care, and use of Medicaid and Medicare funds.
The plea is to investigate Northview and even the state.
The state has consistently failed to adequately fund inspections and the patient advocacy infrastructure that are necessary to keep tragedies like this one from happening in long-term care facilities across the state. If these allegations are true, the state of Missouri must be held accountable too.
Beyond the probe, workers are filing a class action lawsuit for a WARN Act violation, which gives workers a 60-day notice.
We've never had this experience anywhere in the state to our knowledge that something like this has happened.
Now, we have reached out to the owners and the state's health department. We have not heard back from them just yet. And according to police, there is a former resident of Northview Village who was last seen walking away from the facility on the day it closed. Now, anyone with information on 61-year-old Frederick Carruthers' whereabouts is urged to call police.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers wants to place signs near Coldwater Creek warning residents about radioactive waste. The federal agency says it will increase their ability to monitor areas along the creek in North St. Louis County that pose a risk if disturbed.
Diamond Palmer is in studio, and Diamond, you have more on the new developments.
That's right, Kelly and Mike. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in St. Louis says the new signs will have information about the formerly utilized site's remedial action program on them. Right now, the question still remains how many signs there will be and where exactly they'll be placed in Florissant. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in St. Louis says this is the draft of the new sign they would like to place along Coldwater Creek. The signs will contain information stating the, quote, low-level radioactive contamination that may exist that do not pose a health risk if left undisturbed. The Army Corps says they don't have specifics on where the signs will be placed, but they will most likely be placed in public areas and next to the Missouri Sewer District signs that are already in place, warning residents not to play, swim, or fish in the creek. Meanwhile, the Missouri Coalition for the Environment, which has been advocating for more transparency from the Army Corps, says the signs aren't enough.
We have long asked for it. The community has been asking for this going back to the early 90s. So we're glad to finally see that the Army Corps agrees that there should be signs up along the creek. Unfortunately, we don't believe that these signs will have the impact that is needed or desired. They're very wordy, kind of bland in nature. I can't imagine any child stopping along the creek and reading this long sign before getting into it.
Now, both the Missouri Coalition for the Environment and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers are continuing to ask the public for input and engagement. The next Environmental Protection Agency meeting will be held next Tuesday at the Hazelwood Civic Center East from 2 to 3:30 p.m. and 7 to 8:30 p.m.
After becoming first runner-up on NBC's The Voice this season, Ruby Lee is back home in Lincoln County today. She met with some of her fans who helped her make the finals of the national singing competition. 5 on Your Side's Andy Kroll sat down with the singing sensation to talk about what comes next now that she has skyrocketed into national stardom.
When you go to a furniture store, you're typically looking for a chair, a dresser, or even a bed. You're not expecting to run into the runner-up of this season of The Voice, Ruby Lee.
Skies are...
After competing in Los Angeles, this 16-year-old Foley, Missouri native is finally home, meeting fans on Monday at Troy Furniture Company. Owners bought 2 billboards in the area to encourage people to vote for Ruby during the finals and to welcome her back.
Well, when she first started singing Over the Rainbow and watching some of my grandchildren look at her, it actually brought a tear to my eye. She has just a very angelic voice.
Ruby plans to release her debut album of favorite voice covers and original songs in 2024.
You'll write, like, for me, my case is like 1,000 bad songs and then get one. And it's always my best songs are the ones that take me 5 minutes. And the ones that I can tell aren't very good, it's like, all right, I've spent 30 minutes on this. I'm like, no.
Now that Ruby is back home and comfortable in Lincoln County, she's taking her talents on the road soon. In fact, she'll be at the Arlington Music Hall in Texas on January 20th. Reporting in Troy, Annie Kroll, 5 on Your Side.
The Iowa caucuses are 1 week from today. A look at how the caucuses will work.
A door falls off during an Alaska Airlines flight. One passenger describes the terrifying moments on board.